Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. So today we'll be learning how to create this amazing form using just HTML and CSS. So if we look at this stuff, you think it's something hard to do, but it is very easy to accomplish just by writing about 2 or 3 lines of CSS code. So this is something you actually want to do with some CSS library, but I will show you, I can prove to you guys that this is very easy to do. Not just that guys, we'll be learning how to create this amazing form, 100% responsive. I can bet you on that, very responsive. So be learning how to create the form and how to create this animation. And because of you guys, I'm going to show you guys one more thing, which is the new CSS preferred color scheme. I will show you guys how to use it, how to transform your website from light mode to dark mode. So sometimes the user might probably switch your website from a light mode, from the default light mode to a dark mode. You understand? And when a user does something like that, it would actually break how your website look. It will give your website that dark color. But what about if that is not the color you would likely want to present to your visitors on a dark mode? Your code is broken, you can't do that. So I'll show you guys how to use this new CSS preferred color scheme on your code, how to use it so you can display the color which you prefer for your visitor to see your website on a dark mode. So I'll show you guys how to do that. Before showing you guys how to do that, I'm going to show you a very good example of it. I'll turn my website right now, this web page right now, from a light mode to a dark mode. So I gave it a red color on dark mode. So let me quickly change our website right now to dark mode so you see what I'm talking about. Now I get to determine what color do my visitors see, what color do they see. You get, so on a norms, it is not advisable to add a red color because a red color is too bright. The main purpose of dark mode is to reduce the contrast. You understand? To reduce the contrast, not to disturb your viewers' eye on at night. You get, so there's many reasons why you should use a dark color. So if it's a production website, if it is a real website, you won't be using red. You should be using a dark color, then a bright white color, a little bit gray color for the write-up, for the text. So guys, if you know it's something you actually want to learn, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel right now, turn on the notification so you'll be notified whenever I put up a new video. And please don't forget, drop a comment, tell me what you likely want to learn next. Tell me and I'll create a tutorial based on that. So with that being said guys, don't forget to subscribe and watch the video to the end, and I promise you will get to learn 1 or 2 things from this tutorial. So thanks for visiting my channel once more, thanks for subscribing, thanks for all the comments and all the motivation. So if you likely want to reach me, there will be a link to my WhatsApp where you can message me privately and ask me any question you get. So once more, thank you for visiting my channel, and once more, welcome back to Code Yet tutorial. So let's go ahead and write some CSS code. So welcome back guys, and if you're already subscribed to this channel, a very big thank you. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please just click the red subscribe button right now to subscribe to my YouTube channel and like this video if you actually get to learn something from it. Even if it's a little that you learn from this video, it's worth it. No knowledge is a waste, so just kindly subscribe to this channel. So guys, already I have some font face here, which is a font we'll be using on our document. So right now I will show you guys how to use fonts, fonts on your document instead of using Google font. Maybe you might likely have a font on a website which you actually love. You can download the font and use it on your document. So the first thing you're going to do is add a font face, just like at media query, at keyframes. So it's just the same thing, just add this at symbol, then the font face, then inside it you call on your font family. So mind you, you can give this any name you wish to. I can decide to name it Andy Bold. You get, I can decide to name it this. But all that matters guys is how you locate your file, how you locate it, the SRC, which stands for source, and the URL, how to locate it. So I have a folder here called named fonts, which is this folder. So I first of all reach on the folder. Once I have reached on the folder, I search for the font I want to use, which is Roboto Bold, which is this Roboto Bold. So that is the font I'm using. You add this splash, then the Roboto Bold. And mind you guys, I always see beginners do this mistake. All file on a document has a file type. So this font has a file type of .ttf. Whenever you see a file, check out for the dot. the dot, then whatever after it is the file type. So if I change this TTF to TGF, it won't work. So always make sure the file extension is correct. I see beginners do this mistake when trying to add an image to that document or trying to add anything to that document, to that CSS code. So mind you, always look out for the file type. So right now the file type is right here is Roboto board, and also what you should look out for also is how it is written. When you say a capital letter, use a capital letter, you get. So make sure the best thing to do is just to copy it. So when you copy the text, you can just paste it in order to make sure you're not doing any mistake, you get. So you can just press Ctrl V to paste it, which I already did. Okay, let me do it again so you can see it. So let me copy it again, which is this. Copy. Okay, so let me paste it here. It's not working for some reason. I know what I'm going to do right now. So let me edit it in order to get the one minus in the edit. Okay, it's not working, but just make sure the file extension is correct. Always check out for that. Okay guys, so with that being said guys, I hope you already know how to use CSS fonts. You already know how to use font on your document. So always add a font face, and inside the font face you set your rule. First of all, you call on the font family, give it any name. You can choose any name, but when you choose a name, for example, we add our body tag to give our document a general font family. Make sure whatever name you give it here for the font family, make sure it's also the same. So I can't give it Andy Light. Yeah, I can't do that. I must give it the same name that is here, or else it won't work. So just write Andy Bold and it will work. So you can actually give it any name. So if you want to edit this, it's also possible. You can edit it, but when you edit it, make sure you also edit the file name here. So it is 100% flexible. No need of making API call to Google Fonts, which is going to consume more time. So it is very, very good to use it. And when you're working with a team, this is the thing they'll be using most of the time. This is the way they'll be working on it. So for you not to get confused, or it is good for you to learn how to do this now and do it perfectly. So with that being said guys, let's just jump ahead and write more CSS code. Let's go ahead and code our document and create our amazing form and animation and the dark mode, which I know that's what most of you can't wait to see right now. So let's go ahead and do that, and thanks a lot for sticking around. So now let's add some rule to our body tag. Let's call our body elements. So now guys, the first thing I'm going to do right now is I'll split this page into two. I'll split the page. Okay, so in here I'll call on the HTML document. Oh yeah, okay. So guys, the thing is that I won't be writing the HTML from scratch. So I'll drop a link on the comment box so you can get the HTML document. It is very easy to understand. The only way you won't understand this document is if you're an absolute beginner. If you have never worked with an HTML document before, that's the only time you'll find it difficult. So the only external link we have here is this Bootstrap CDN for Font Awesome. So we're using Font Awesome for this. Let me refresh our browser so you see. So we'll be using Font Awesome here. This is our Font Awesome icon, the check icon. So that's where we're going to be using Font Awesome. So let's go through our document. You can see everything here is just plain HTML code. So these are the image, the Twitter icon, the Facebook icon wrapped on an image div container. So with that being said guys, let's just quickly go ahead and write our HTML, our CSS code. I don't want to spend much time here like other tutorials. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do now is to give this a width of 100% viewport width. So why I'm giving it 100% viewport width, because I want the font to take 100% of the viewport width. Then what this view W mean is viewport, the 100% of your screen. So in case if someone visits your website with a mobile device, it is still going to take 100% of the viewport, which is the phone full width. So that's why I'm using VW here. So the same thing for the height. I will use 100% viewport height. 100% viewport height. Okay, so VW for viewport width and VH for viewport height. Perfect. So guys, don't forget, if there's anything you find strange here, maybe you have not worked with before, you can call my attention on the comment box and I'll cover a tutorial based on that. So let's give it a padding of 0 to remove every space on it. Remove the default space on our HTML document. Then margin of 0 also. Then now we're going to add our background image, which is this image. Okay, let me add it first. Background image. Then call on the URL function. Okay, first of all, as usual, never forget when you're working with an image, create a separate folder for it. So to get to the image, first of all, you call on the folder like this img. You get, then the splash is to go next to the next thing, which is the next thing. Now if we have another folder, we still have to go to the folder before we get to the main image, but we don't have any other folder inside the image, so we're just going to go straight to the image, which is this background.png. Perfect. So this is how to locate your document. Don't find it, because it's really disgusting when I see beginners asking questions like this: why is my image working? If your image is not working, either the file extension is not correct, which is this .png. Maybe you went again and add a JPEG file instead of PNG file. So that is the only reason why your image might probably not be working, or you didn't locate the file, locate it, like going to the image folder, then the image. So that is the possible reason why your image might not show up. So let's see what we have now on our HTML, on our document. This is the image, the blur image. So the image and every other, the image, the font will be available to you. The only thing that won't be available to you here is the CSS codes, because I want you guys to view it and understand, not just to download the code and don't get to know how it works behind the scene. So I'll just go ahead and keep writing the HTML code. So now we'll give it a background position of center, to center the image, to make the center to show up. Okay, now we'll give the background size of cover. Okay, so we'll also add background repeats of no repeat. So all these terms is quite self-explanatory. The background repeat is just to make sure the image does not repeat, because sometimes when the image is too small, or sometimes it just repeats, it happens. So for it to do it, you just have to add background repeat of none. So now let's add our font family. So what did we use here? Let's go back to our, okay, here we use Andy Bold. So because we use Andy Bold here, we're still going to use the same name here. So I just want to give our element a general font family, in case if I don't get to add a font family to a particular element, our document will still look good. Okay, that's perfect. So now the next thing we're going to do is to work on this form container, which is the container holding the entire document. So we're going to work on it now. So let's just copy this. So guys, don't forget, if there's anything you want me to cover, if there's any trick at all you want me to cover, drop it on the comment box. Tell me what you feel about this tutorial. Tell me where you think I should improve. Do you think I should improve on my sound? Do you think I should improve on how I explain things? Just tell me, feel free, and I won't take it as an opportunity to quit making tutorial, which is something I love doing, but I'll take it as an advice in order to improve on my tutorials. So guys, thanks a lot if you actually consider doing that later in the future. Okay, so give it a height of 100% viewport height also. 100% viewport height, and the width of 100% viewport width. Then now we'll give it a display of flex and justify content to the center to make sure everything is well centered. So this is just CSS Flex. If you don't know how to use CSS Flex, I have a tutorial based on that, so you can just check it out. But it's very easy to understand CSS Flex when you understand English, when you understand the terminology. So to work on it is to play around with it. When you get to play around with it, you will get to understand it. So that's all that matters. So let's give it a margin of auto to make sure it's well centered. Auto. Okay, let's what we have on our document now. You can see. Now, why is it so? Bump container. It shouldn't be so. What is wrong? What is actually wrong? I can't identify the problem here. Let me refresh again, and it's still not working. Okay, let's just check our document. Must have missed something, because if you look, this image is not taking 100% of the viewport width. So let's check our document. I'm happy I'm making this mistake now, so you won't have to do the same mistake. So center. Oh, this is the problem here. This content should be, let me see, cover, because when you use the word content to actually try and contain just based on the image width and height. Okay, this is it. But now you get to stretch the image and make sure it occupies the full 100% viewport width and height. So that is it, guys. Thank God I'm able to make this mistake and be able to see how I'm able to correct myself. So when something goes wrong on your document, just make sure you should go through your HTML code and CSS. The problem is surely there. Okay, so let's go ahead and style this form data, which is holding this, sign up and enjoy our favorite website. So let's style it. So guys, you know you don't like the way I do it by not writing the HTML code, you can just call my attention, and the next tutorial I'm going to do, I will start writing the HTML code from scratch. Okay, perfect. So now the form data, we're going to give it 50% this time around. The width is going to be 50%. 50% viewport width, and the height is going to be 100%. No, let's give it 90% because I don't want to take the full viewport height. Okay, let's go what we have now. Okay, you won't be able to see it because we didn't add any color to it. So let's add a background color now. Let's give it a white color. Let's see what we have now. Okay, you can see it now. Perfect. So let's add a border radius. Border radius. So 10 pixel. 0, 0, 10 pixel bottom left. Okay, you can see 10 pixel here, 0 pixel, 0 pixel, then 10 pixel again. So it's equivalent to border radius top, border radius bottom, border radius. So it's just like that, but this is a short way of writing instead of writing it over and over again like an amateur in programming. So that's how to do it, guys. Okay, I think that let's just stop for now and do other things. So now let's style this stuff, because I want an image to stand side by side with this form. So I'll just skip every other part now and just go straight down to this, which is where is the form image? Okay, which is this form image. Let's copy it. Okay, I was thinking my stuff is not recording. Okay, form image. So what we're going to do right now is give it a background image. So I have an image of a guy. So the UI is actually designed by Eso. Shout out to Eso out there. The guy is a very good UI designer. So if you wish to make a design, you can actually reach Eso. I'll drop a link on the comment box so you can reach him and get to do business with him. He's very good on creating UI. So most of my UI on my website is made by him. On my YouTube channel is made by him. So let's see what we have right now. Won't be able to say anything because we haven't added some more properties to this image. So let's do the background repeat first. I don't like missing that. Background repeat of none. So make sure you check out Esther on the description of this video. I'll leave a link where you can reach him directly there, either on WhatsApp or through calling. Okay, so let's just keep writing. I like talking too much. So now let's give it a background position of center to center the image and give it a width of maybe 400 and something pixel. Okay, perfect. Then the height, I want it to be a little bit bigger than this form data. I want the height to be a little bigger than it. So I'm going to give it 95% viewport height. So it's going to be 95% viewport height. Perfect. Okay. What are we going to add next on this document? Let's add a border radius to it. Okay, maybe let's just leave it 10 pixels, so it won't be too obvious that there's a border radius on it. So let's see what we have now. Okay, perfect. No hover yet, just an image. Let's keep going. Let's add a filter to it. You can see the image is just not looking good, not my type of look. So let me give it filter. So filter is equivalent to box shadow. It's just the same like box shadow, but today we have more advanced feature, which is the filter method, which is much faster than drop shadow and much better than drop shadow. So you can actually check it out, read articles about it to learn how to use it. But it's still the same way. If you know how to use box shadow, everything is still the same. Okay, so let's give it 5 pixels, then maybe 2 pixel blur, then a black color. So let's see what we have now. You can see it. Follow my cursor. You can see. Yeah, perfect. You can see it. Okay, so you can actually play around with the values to see how it works. So now what we're going to do right now is to add some transition to it. Transition. So we want to animate all and give it maybe 1.5 seconds, which is actually too much, but this is my code. I determine what I'm going to do. So you can actually reduce it. So here we're going to be using is in out. Okay. I think I'm missing something. Okay, there's something I'm meant to explain to you guys, which I didn't. So this background position of center, this is actually the trick here. So by default, we added some animation to it, which is this background position of center, and we animate all. So if anything actually change on the hover, it's going to be animated. So right here, we have a background position of center. By default, the background position is center. So let me change this to background position of top. So you see what I'm talking about. Background position of top. You can see. So now let's take it back to what it was. So that is how the tree comes in. But why I added an animation here and a transition here is because I don't want it to just go back to its old state. I want some animation when it is going back to its old state. So what we're going to do right now is create the hover state. So let's call on the image again, the form image, okay, then call on hover. So let's add a transition to it again, then call upon all to animate all, then give it 1.5 seconds also. Then this time around is going to be ease in. Okay, so to make the trick work this time around also, we have to also add a background position here of top, but nothing is going to happen. Nothing. You can see something is still missing. Who can tell me what is missing? What is missing is that we didn't add our image. That's what is missing. So never forget that I forgot to add an image to it, which I'm going to do now. So background image here. So I have an image here called lady. Yeah, lady.jpg. Always mind the extension. So all the images will be available to you guys. So let's see. Boom, there is it. But something is wrong. Something is not working. All 1 second, 1.5 second is in. Okay. I guess I should add. Something is not working. It's not meant to just go back to its old state. It's supposed to animate while going back. Okay, let's figure it out together. Oh guys, this is my bad, I'm so sorry. And you all must have seen this. We failed to add no, this is 1.5 millisecond, 1.5 seconds. I forgot to add the S, which stands for second. So a little mistake can actually break your code. You just have to cool down, maybe take your rest, then come back to your code, and you'll be able to figure out the problem. And something is still not working well. Okay. Okay, I think it's okay. So you can actually see what is happening. So just by changing the property, which is this, changing the background position and changing the animation, adding an animation to the original state and to the hover state. So guys, you can see, you can just play around with this value to learn how it works. Let's see when we add left to it and see what happens. Wow, I think I actually checked this before, but you can see there's so many stuff you can do with all these position, all these elements. All you need to do is go to Mozilla website and find CSS element that can be animatable. So once you know element that can animate, then You just play around with the values and see how it works. So guys, with that being said, guys, let's just what do we do now? Let's work on the form now. Let's go back to the form. We are done with this part. So the only thing remaining now is to work on the dark mode stuff and this form. So let's go ahead and do that. So I have an element called inner form here, which is this. So let's just copy the inner form. Okay, Control C to copy, Control V to paste. Okay, so let's just give it a max width of 80%. Mind you, it's not viewport this time around, 80%. So let's just give the margin of auto. So the inner form is what that is actually holding this. You can see where it closes. You can see this div and the closing div. Then you can see this one, inner form, holds everything inside the form, which is this div with input cover. So this inner form is actually the parent element to everything inside the form, except from the image. It is not holding this image. This image is outside the inner form. Okay, so use the name and check the HTML document. Just make sure you check the name and check how the div closes. And so you can add bracket colorize. I've forgotten how it is being called, but it will help you identify the opening and closing div. Okay, now let's work on this header text. Let's go back. My bad, we have to go up, not down. Yeah, let's work on this header text, which is this text, the h1 tag and the h2 tag. So header text, HEADERTEXT, if I can spell. So we'll give it a display of flex. To give it a flex display. Then we'll justify content. If you look at our document, nothing has changed right now. You can see it will just, flexbox will just allow you to align something in straight line like this. Unless you want to change the flex direction from row to column, so you can change it so everything will keep following one after the other, just in our normal document flow. So for this stuff to actually be spaced, then this max width of 80%, you know, this form has a max width of 100%, then then giving this stuff a max width of 80% actually calculate 80% inside this parent element. So I give it 100%, it's going to take 100% of this. You understand? So that is how it works. So you can make sure you play around with the value. When you play around with the value, you get to understand it. So let's give it space around, there's space between, there's space so let's just give it space between, there's space around, there's space evenly. You see the power of flexbox, you can see. Okay, perfect. So what next are we going to do right now? Let's just give the h1 header text, then h1. Let's just increase only the font size. You can add more values to it, but that is not my aim of this tutorial. So 3 point, maybe 10 rem. Okay, that's what we have now. Okay, it's much bigger now. Okay, so what next are we going to do? Let's style these labels. This is our label, this label. Let's style the label for now. So So let's just call on the label because we have only one label on our document doing the same thing, which is holding all this content. So this is it. This username, email, password, those are the label. So because I want this stuff to line up one after the other, I have to change it from inline block to block element. So we'll go to and change the display to block. Let's see what happened now. You can see everything falls one after the other now. Okay, perfect. So let's give it a font family. Maybe let's use Roboto Light. So let's copy it to make sure we don't do a mistake. Let's go back here and copy the font family here. So let's paste it here. You know why I'm doing that? I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want my font to not work for any reason. So let's paste it now and expect this element. You will see it has changed already just by looking at it. So let's see the font details. You can see Roboto Light, and when I inspect this, you see the font name is Andy Bold. You can see Andy Bold. So everything is working properly the way it should. Okay, perfect. So what next are we going to do? Let's style this input cover, which is this. So all of these input elements, I wrap it on a div. You can see the opening div and you can see the closing div, the opening div and the closing div, and they all have the same class name, which is this input cover. So this is what we are going to style right now. Okay, so the CSS code won't be available to you on the video description, but everything will be available. The font, the images will be available to you except from the CSS code. I don't just want you guys to copy the code and don't learn it and don't get to learn anything from this tutorial. So that's why I'm doing this stuff, guys, for everybody good. Okay, input cover, let me just give it a position of relative because I'll be using absolute position later in the future. For now, let me just give it a relative position. Maybe we can come back to this input cover. Then now we'll call on the input element itself. Then we'll give it a width of 100%. Let's see what we have now. You can see a width of 100%, which is the 100% of the 80%. Mind you, guys, this 100% right now is 100% of the 80%, which will give the parent element of this. Okay, perfect. So let's give it a height of maybe 40 pixels and a border of none. Then a border bottom of solid. So what happened here first is that we will set our border, our general border, to none, so we won't have any border. You can see no border. Then this is the border bottom, and a letter overwrites the rule because a rule after can overwrite a rule before. So this border bottom has overwritten the border bottom of this. So solid, but I don't want it to be that solid. I want it to be 1.5 pixel solid. Then give it a gray color. Okay, perfect. You can see. So let's just give this stuff position of relative because I don't want anything to mess my. It's sometimes just difficult to identify the parent element. You guys find it a little bit difficult too. So that is absolute position. Is kind of tricky. Okay, guys. So now I think what we're going to do now is to style the placeholder. So let's style this placeholder, which is this, or the placeholder inside it. Input. Then we call on the placeholder. Okay. So let's give the font size of 18 pixels. You can increase it, you can decrease it. It's up to you, bro. We'll leave it with the same font family, and the bold. And the bold, it should be bold, bro. Okay, so now when we check our documents, let's see what we have now. You can see all the placeholder is working, but something is still not working here. So if you look, guys, there's this outline here. I hate this stuff, so we're going to take it out. I don't like seeing an outline like this on my design, but let's just keep going. We'll change it later in the future. Okay, now let's just do it now. This kind of, let's do it now. Let's set the outline to none. Let's see whether it's still there. Okay, it is out. Perfect. So let's style this password, which is what that this password. Let's style it, because we can remember there's a style on it. So let's just copy this, which is this type element, in order for us to style shows the password. So now we're still going to call on our favorite input elements. So call on our input tag, then add our type property inside it. So make sure you add this bracket to it, or curly braces. No, not curly braces. These are curly braces. Okay. So what did I do wrong? Okay. Perfect. Thank you for telling me. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we'll increase the font size to maybe 38 pixels, and the font family also. Okay, let's just leave it. We already have a font family in our body element. So what we're going to do now is just to change the color. If I can remember the color I used, I think it's 5B. 5B. Okay, this is the color. Yes. Is it? No, I don't think it is. Okay. 8. 3BC. Is that it? Okay, that is it. Yeah, this is it. That's what we have now. Perfecto. Yeah. So the only thing remaining right now is to just add some spacing on it. Okay. So let's add letter spacing to space the inputs. 15 pixels. I choose 15 pixels. You can make it lesser or greater. It's up to you, bro. It's up to you. So there's something missing here. Let's refresh our document to get back the font awesome. So you can see where the font awesome is right now. So what we're going to do now is use absolute position to center it somewhere around here. So inside all font awesome icon, I added a class name of 1 to it. There's a class name of 1 in all of it. You can see. So I don't know why I named it as 1, but I just did. Okay. So let's give more space to this. Let's give some more space, bro. Some more space. So let's give I sound terrible, right? Okay. So position of absolute positioning. Then maybe top of 26 pixels. Let's see what we have. Let's see what we have. Refresh. Okay, we have it here right now. but it's still not inside this input tags. So let's get it inside the input tag. Let's give it right of 0 and give it a background color. Background color of maybe okay, series 4 90. Okay. Yeah, we have a perfect color here. Let's leave this color. Let's give it a width. So all these names, you already know what it does. So I'll be going to our browser to see the results and give it a height of 20 pixels and the border radius of 10 pixels. Okay, perfect. Let's also text align to make sure it's well aligned on the center. Text align center. Okay, let's add some padding to it. Maybe 3 pixels should be okay. And let's increase the font size also to maybe 20 pixels. And the color of white, pure white. Okay, let's see what we have on our document now. You can see it's already inside the input element. So don't forget, play around with it, play around with it, play around with it. It's only when you play around with it you get to understand it perfectly. So you can see our form is looking good already, just like the original version. Okay. So now, what next are we going to do? So let's style this, the account section, which is holding this connect with us and these images. Yeah, so using CSS Flexbox also here. So if you look at it, why I added these images on one div is because I want Flexbox to look at this stuff as one element, as just one element. That's why I did it like that. So all these images will be available to you guys. So let's get the connect section. And one advantage of using my tutorial is that my designs is not easily to be, you can't just easily imitate my design, and my designs are not that popular. So even if you put it on your website, nobody will know where you get it from. Guys will be like, wow, where do you get this design from? Just tell them this code guy and the tutorials. Okay, so guys, I think I'm talking too much. Let me just keep doing what I'm doing and talk less. So let's give it a margin top of 30 pixels and see what we have. You can see. Okay. Okay. Let's so give it a display of flex now. Display of flex. And justify content space between. You can see they are all on the same position right now. Okay, perfect. So what next are we going to do here? So let's if you look closely to this, you'll find out that this image and this text are not on the same length, because this by default this text has a padding and the text is much longer than this icon. So because of that, I'm going to add some some padding top to the A tag. So let's call on this connect section again. And call on the anchor tag and give it a padding top. Let's just give it 10 pixels. Okay. Okay, perfect. So now let's work on this. Let's work on this. So what name did we give it? Account section. What is wrong? So this should be, man, my head is exploding already. It's not easy to try and put all this stuff on your head. So all this rule can also work. Well, I don't just know why I had to skip this in order to style this. So the rules are almost the same. Let's just change it to from account section to from connect section to account section, because the rules are almost the same and I also use the same. Yeah, this was something I was thinking about, then I was doing it for this. No wonder I didn't work for the image. Perfect. Thank you if you have seen that earlier than I do. Okay, so let's style this button now. Let's style this button. Color gray. Okay, to give it that gray color. Okay, perfect. So what next? Let's style. So now let's just style this button now before working on this and on the dark mode. So account section OUNT, then color on the button. So first of all, let's give it a color. I've wasted enough time already of white, so let's talk less explanation. Everything that I'm doing right now is self-explanatory. Adding of maybe 20 pixels. Okay, and the width of maybe 170 pixels. Okay, so after this, work on the responsiveness and on the dark mode. Okay, so next thing we are going to do right now is change the border radius. Okay, let's give it maybe 60 pixels. Okay, that's what we have now. Okay, let's give it a background color. So let me just copy this color. Right? No, not this color. The one I used here, which is this. Okay. ESCK. Okay, perfect. Okay, this is looking much better now. Oh man, I'm tired already. Let's give some margin right of maybe 20 pixels and change the cursor to pointer. Okay, Then let's not forget to add font size to it. Okay, let's just give it one rem. Okay, let's see. Okay, much better now. What else? Let's work on this before working on the responsiveness. So let's now copy the connect section. Let's now add padding to it. Padding after padding. Sorry, it should not be padding, it should be padding top. So padding top of how many should we give it? 10. Let's just give it 20 pixels. You can play around with the value and the display of flex also. And then justify content, the same space between. Okay, perfect. So you can see. So now let's add some more padding to this, some margin to it, I mean. So let's call on the image class here, imgs. Don't forget to add your class symbol, okay, which is this dot. Okay, so let's first of all add cursor to it and set it to pointer, and now add our main reason for doing it, which is the padding dot to 5 pixel. Okay, let's see what we have now. Perfect. So everything is just as planned already. It's just the way it was on the tutorial, on the slide that I shared at the beginning of this tutorial. So all we need to do now is work on the responsiveness. You can see it's not responsive. I want this image to hide on a small device like this. So that's what we are going to do now. Let's go ahead and write some media query, just like at font face. It is at, what am I doing? Sorry, it should be here. Okay, perfect, it's working now. At media query, this time around is not at font face but at media. Okay, then we'll give it the max weight. See, my hand is being faster than my brain, like don't know what is happening lately. 978 pixel. Okay, MEDIA. Okay, so let's call on the form image again and set it to display of none. Display of none. And see what happens. Perfect. So what next? Let's the form data, remember we gave it 90% of the viewports, 80% of the viewport width. So now let's change that to make it 100%. Form data. Okay, Let's change it to 100% viewport width, 100% viewport width, and height of 100% viewport height. Okay, and see what we have. Okay, perfect. So let's just tell add some row to the button. Okay, SCCOUNT section. Okay, no, UTTON. Okay, Professito. Let's just give it a width of auto, so it will automatically calculate how much width is being needed. Yeah, that is the end of this tutorial, guys. So let's quickly go ahead and work on the dark mode. So because I don't want to write this code from scratch, I will copy the code here. I already have the code here, but I will make sure I explain it to you in a way that even a dormant will understand how it works. So guys, what you are going to do first is paste this code. Learn how to copy and paste if you don't know how to, but still learn how to examine the code and know what every single line of code does. Okay, so just as easy as this, just like a media query. So you just call @media, then instead of adding a width and height to it, what you do this time around is to just add prefers color scheme, then you set it to light. Already by default it is light by default before the user probably change it to dark mode, but because of this is not yet supported on some minor browser, not major, some minor browser, but it's supported on Chrome, supported on Firefox. Any big browser out there already support preferred color scheme. So you just have to, all the color you use, just have to put it inside here again. Then you create another row, which is the dark mode. Then every color inside the light mode should also be inside the dark mode. So here I have it as black. I can still change it back to red, which is the one I showed to you guys. But as I told you, it is better to use a dark color than a gray color for the text and everything. So you can see it. So all you need to do is make sure you always leave a light color and a dark color, and don't just do it. Also leave the same color here, because in case if it is not supported on any browser, so you can have a color on your website. If not, you won't have any color. So make sure there's still a color on your code before adding this. And it is also advisable to add it at the bottom of your code, at the last section of your code. You can see. So this is the dark mode. It's just the same color we had, background color for the label, everything. Just have to change the color. So you can do more with this. You can make a JavaScript button on it. If you want me to do that for you, you can drop it on the comment box and I'll create a tutorial based on that. You can create a JavaScript button. When a user click on it, automatically switch to dark mode and light mode, just like other major websites like Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Just make all your website out there, they already have dark mode enabled on their website. So guys, if you know you actually learn one or two things from this tutorial, subscribe. If you know you didn't get to learn anything from this tutorial, you didn't learn anything at all, don't subscribe. But if you have anything you wish to learn in the future, drop it on the comment box and I promise you I'll create a tutorial based on that. Don't think it is dumb, just tell me and I'll create a tutorial based on that. So guys, I'll quickly scroll very slow. So if you just want to pause and copy the code, you can pause and do that so you can see. So thanks guys for watching. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate you spending your time with me on this marathon. So thank you guys once more.